Hello everyone. In the previous video we have completed NCERT starting 5 questions, and today in this video we will discuss the remaining questions. Okay, the first question is in sixth question. How will you separate a mixture containing kerosene and petrol? Difference in their boiling point is more than 25 degrees Celsius. If difference between their boiling point is more than 25 degrees Celsius, then we will use distillation. Or if the boiling point is less than 25 degrees Celsius, then we will use fractional distillation. But here boiling point is more than 25 degrees Celsius, means a difference. That's why we are using distillation method, simple distillation method. It means that first we take a mixture of kerosene and petrol in distillation flask, and then we heat. As we know that petrol boiling point is less than kerosene, so first petrol starts boiling, and it converts from liquid into vapor state, and when petrol goes up, then it condenses and separate out. This is what we called distillation method. So by using distillation method we can separate kerosene and petrol. Okay, the next question is, name the technique to separate butter from curd. Butter from curd we are using centrifugation. In centrifugation, it is a technique to separate a mixture in which the denser particle settle down at bottom, and the fine particle or the lighter particles, they float on the top, and we can separate them. Means butter from curd, to separate butter from curd we should use centrifugation. Then the next process is salt from seawater. We are using evaporation. When we evaporate, then suppose this is water mixed with salt, then water evaporates and salt is left behind as residue. Camphor from salt, we use sublimation. As we know that camphor is a sublimating substance. Sublimating substance means the substance which can directly convert into solid into gas, or gas into solid. So camphor is a sublimating substance, directly convert into solid into the gas state. Then we can separate camphor from salt. Now the next question is, what type of mixtures are separated by the technique of crystallization? By using crystallization, we can separate the pure solids from impurities, like copper sulfate, CuSO4. We can separate copper sulfate. An example of crystallization method is removal of impurities from an impure sample of copper sulfate. First we heat the mixture at saturation level, and then the impurities which can evaporate separate out, and then we just cool the mixture, and then we will get some crystals or pure crystals of copper sulfate in the solid form. This is crystallization method. Now next question is, we have to classify the given parts in chemical or physical change. Cutting of trees, it is a physical change because there is no new substances formed. Next is melting of butter. Cutting of trees, physical change. Melting of butter, it is also physical change because it is reversible. Rusting of alumina, it is a chemical change because when iron gets rusted, then a new brown substance is formed. Boiling of water to form steam, it is a physical change as it is reversible. We can get water from steam also. Passing of electric current through water and breaks down into hydrogen and oxygen gas, it is a chemical change because chemical reaction takes place. Dissolving common salt in water, it is a physical change because we can get salt after evaporation. Making a fruit salad with raw fruits. Okay, you can check answers here also. Their answers are given or details are also given. You can check. Making a fruit salad with raw fruits, it is also physical change because properties is not change after making salad. They have all the same properties. Burning of paper or wood, burning is a chemical change because gases are released. Okay, when you burn paper and wood, then gases are released. If in reaction gas is released, then it is called chemical change. Okay, this question is completed. Try segregating the things around you as pure substance or mixture. You can do the answer yourself, or I'm just giving some examples. For example, blood is a mixture. Like carbon dioxide, it is a pure substance because it is a compound, and compound is a pure substance. Oxygen is a pure substance. Like milk is not pure, it is a mixture. Okay, iron is be pure, and some examples are given here also. Now the next question is exercise question. Which separation technique will you apply for separation of the following? Sodium chloride from its solution in water, we use evaporation. Okay, now part B. This is part B. Ammonium chloride from a mixture containing sodium chloride and ammonium chloride. As we know that ammonium chloride is a sublimating substance, so we should use sublimation technique. Small pieces of metal in the engine oil of a car, we can use filtration. By filtration we can separate the small pieces of metal from engine oil. Different pigments from an extract of flower petals, we should use chromatography. Butter from curd, centrifugation. Oil from water, we should use separating funnel. By using separating funnel we can separate oil from water because oil is lighter than water, so it floats over the water. When you use separating funnel, then you can separate. Tea leaves from tea, you can use sieving method. Iron pins from sand, we can use magnets, or the process is called magnetic separation. Wheat grains from husk, we can use winnowing. In this part, winnowing. Okay, fine mud particles suspended in water, we should use sedimentation and decantation. Means you just take suppose you are taking a glass filled with mud particles or water, impure water, then keep the glass for 30 minutes, then the denser particles settle down. This is called sedimentation, and after settling down the heavier particles, then we just pour the water in another vessel, and this is called decantation. So by using sedimentation and decantation we can separate fine mud particles suspended in water. Okay, now The next question is filtration. Okay, this is completed. Now the next question is second. Write the steps you would use for making tea. Use the word solution, solvent, solute, dissolve, soluble, insoluble, filtrate and residue. Means you should use you will use these terms, and just you have to write the steps while making tea. Okay, you can do yourself this, and these are also steps. You can see that take some water as solvent. Here we are using solvent as water as solvent. Add some insoluble tea leaves, and the second term insoluble. Add some sugar and milk it which act as solute. The solutes are sugar and milk. देखिए, solvent means in which the solute dissolves, and what substances are dissolved in a given solvent, they are called solids. Boil the mixtures, we are using the term mixer, and filter the prepared tea through a sieve. The tea leaves are left on the sieve, this is a residue. The filtered tea is collected in a cup, means we are using this. You can change the language and you can write your own answer. Now this is the question you need to understand. Pragya tested the solubility of 4 different substances like potassium nitrate, second sodium chloride, third potassium chloride, and fourth is ammonium chloride. The data is given below. Results are given in the following table as grams of substance dissolve in 100 grams of water to form a saturated solution. Means these are the amounts of the substances dissolve in 100 grams. You should remember this term, 100 gram. Okay. Now we are going to question answers. Means in this table we can understand that when you increase the temperature, this is 283 and this is 293. Okay, by mistake it is written 293. Then 313, 333 and 353. When you increase temperature, then solubility also increases. Here at 283, 21 gram of potassium nitrate dissolves, but at 293, 32, 313, 62 grams of potassium nitrate dissolves. Means when you increase temperature, then solubility also increases, and when you decrease temperature, then solubility also decreases. Okay, then the first question is, what mass of potassium nitrate, where is potassium nitrate, this, would be needed to produce a saturated solution of potassium nitrate in 50 grams at 313 Kelvin, means 313 Kelvin 62, means at 313 Kelvin 62 grams potassium nitrate dissolve in 100 gram of water, but we have to find it for 50 grams. Means if solvent is 100 gram, then 62 grams potassium nitrate dissolves, but if solvent is 50 grams, means half, then it will be half. The answer is 31 grams. This is the first answer. Now second question, Pragya makes a saturated solution of potassium chloride in water, potassium chloride, this is potassium chloride, at 353 Kelvin, means 54 grams, and leaves the solution to cool. Then what you observe? देखिए, when you increase temperature, then solubility increases, but when you cool it, means decrease temperature, then solubility decreases, and you will observe some crystals of potassium chloride. Now the next question is, find the solubility of each salt at 293 Kelvin. Okay, and which salt has the highest solubility at this temperature? 293 Kelvin. This is 293. Okay. This is 293 Kelvin. So you have to find the solubilities. Na? Potassium nitrate is 32 grams solubility. Sodium chloride 36 grams. Potassium chloride 35 grams or percentage, because we are finding for 100 grams. Ammonium chloride is 37. So which has the highest solubility? 37 gram. The answer is ammonium chloride. Now the next question is, what is the effect of change of temperature on the solubility of a salt? When you change the temperature, when you increase temperature, solubility increases. When you decrease temperature, solubility also decreases. Okay, now the next question is, these are the answers. Explain the following given examples. Saturated solution. What is saturated solution? Saturated solution, when suppose you are taking a solvent and just adding some solute, when at a particular temperature no more solutes dissolve in a given solvent, then the solution is saturated. Okay, again I am repeating, when no more solute dissolves in a given solvent at a particular temperature, you should use this term, na, particular temperature, then it is called saturated solution. But when you increase temperature, then solubility increases. What is pure substance? Already discussed, which are made of same type of particles. For example, water. If water having water particles, then it is considered as pure. But if it has dust, oil, grease and something else, then it will be impure. Colloid. Colloid example like milk. Colloid, we can say that like suspension, colloid and true solution. Colloids, colloid is a heterogeneous mixture. First you say colloid is a heterogeneous mixture, and in this mixture you can observe Tyndall effect. It looks like homogeneous, but it is heterogeneous. Okay, like example milk. Suspension, it is also heterogeneous mixtures, but the difference in between the two is suspension we can filtrate, but we cannot filter colloid particles because the size of colloid particle is less than the suspension. Now the next question is, classify the following as a homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Soda water. Soda water is a homogeneous mixture because it is having uniform composition or uniformly mixed, each part having the same property. Okay, now the next part is wood. Wood is a heterogeneous, maybe heterogeneous. Wood is a heterogeneous mixture. Air is a homogeneous mixture. Vinegar, it is also homogeneous mixture, and filtered tea. You can check your answers. Yes, air is a homogeneous, soda water is homogeneous, vinegar and filtered tea, they all are homogeneous. Okay, only wood and soil is heterogeneous. How would you confirm that a colorless liquid given to you is pure water? How would you confirm? When you heat water, as we know that water boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius, and you are given a colorless liquid. Okay, you are given a colorless liquid, no color. You are giving a colorless liquid, suppose it is colorless liquid. Okay, and you have to find it whether it is water or not. You just heat it. If it is heated, if it heats at 100 degrees Celsius, then it will be pure water. But if it is not heating it not starts boiling at 100 degrees Celsius, then it will not pure water. Okay, which of the following material fall in the category of pure substance? Ice is pure, milk is not pure, iron is pure, hydrochloric is pure because it is a compound, and compound is always pure. Calcium oxide is also compound, it is pure. Mercury is also pure, and these are mixture or not pure. Now next, this is question number 7th. By mistake it is written maybe. Which of the following will show Tyndall? No, salt solution does not show Tyndall effect because it is true solution and the particles are very small. They are not enough to scatter light. That's why they cannot show Tyndall effect. Then Tyndall effect means when the light passes through the particles or a solution, then the path of the light appears. Like in noon time, when you open the window, then you see some dust particles is there, and because of dust particles, we can see the path of light. This is called Tyndall effect. But the particle size should be enough to scatter the light, and true solution particle size is not enough to scatter light. Milk is colloid and Tyndall effect we can show. Copper sulfate we cannot show Tyndall effect because it is true solution. Again I am telling, particle size is very small, they are not enough size of particles to scatter light. Starch solution shows the Tyndall effect, means milk and starch solution is the answer. Classify the following into elements, compounds and mixtures. Sodium is element. Element means having same atoms. Compound means two or more than two atoms when they combine in a definite ratio, but mixture in any ratio. Okay, sodium is an element. Soil is a mixture because many things are mixed in any ratio. Sugar solution, it is a compound. Silver, it is an element. Calcium carbonate, it is a compound. Tin, it is an element. Silicon, it is also an element. And then coal and air is a mixture, and coal we just confirm it. Coal is also a mixture, yes, right. Coal and both are mixture. One more time, just I check it. Yes, coal is a mixture. Now soap, it is also a mixture. Methane, it is a compound. Carbon dioxide is a compound, and blood is a mixture because blood having RBC, WBC and platelets, but not in a definite ratio. Okay, now the 11th question is, you have to find the chemical changes. So growth of plant, it is a chemical change because it is not reversible. Okay, rusting of iron is also chemical change because new substance is formed. Rust is a new substance. Mixing of iron fillings and sand, it is a physical change, not a chemical change. Okay, physical change because we can separate and no new substance is formed. Cooking of food, cooking and digestion, they both are chemical change because chemical reactions takes place. Freezing of water, it is a physical change because reversible. Ice can convert into water and water can convert into ice. This burning of candle, it is a chemical change, right? Melting is a physical change but burning is a chemical change, because if the question is melting of candle, then your answer will be physical because melting candle we can reform it, but melting wax can be converted into candle, can make. But burning of candle, it is a chemical change because burning releases some gases. Like when you burn candle, then carbon dioxide gas is released. It is a chemical change. I think we have completed all the questions. Okay, hope you understand. Okay, thank you. And I just request you to watch the video fully. Don't skip the video, because if you skip means you are skipping some questions and you are skipping some explanation also. Okay, thank you for watching my video.